Today's topic of conversation is the Sauber 2018 driver lineup. Now, this is a seat, or two seats in fact, up for grabs that could literally go to a massive range of drivers. And today I'm going to be going through those drivers with you guys and my thoughts who's going to end up with the two Sauber seats for the 2018 season. Let's start the debate then with their current drivers. First of all, we have Marcus Ericsson. The Swede has been at the team since 2015 and is still yet to score a single point for the team. Now, Ericsson, not really a controversial driver, not a good driver, is what I'll say. He's not one of the best drivers on the grid. The reason he's in contention is because he brings the dollar, he brings the cash to the team with those Swedish sponsors. But apart from that, he brings nothing else to the table really. I wouldn't even say he's a consistent driver, to be perfectly honest, but that money for a backmarker team like Sauber is key, and that money alone is going to push him up above a lot of these other drivers in contention. Their other current driver is Pascal Wehrlein. Really, I do believe that he is one of the most underrated drivers on this grid at the moment. Getting 5 points, I think, in the end, in that Sauber. He also got points in the Manor last year as well, don't forget that. He is an extreme talent, and unfortunately it looks like we're going to be losing him for the next season. Absolutely gutted. I really can't fathom that we're losing Pascal Wehrlein from the grid. He outperformed Ocon. You look at the stats last season, Manor. Yes, Ocon had half a season, but he outperformed Ocon massively. Gutted that he won't be there. And also, it looks like he has some sort of issues behind the scenes with anger. Well, not necessarily anger, but just getting along with other people. His work mentality seems to be a bit off. You remember at the beginning of the season, he missed those first two races and it was all up in the air a bit. So yeah, I don't think Wehrlein's going to get this seat. But moving on then to drivers who already don't have a seat for next season. I've got 5 drivers here who are without a seat next season, which definitely could go to Sauber. Starting off with the most likely of these drivers, Danny Kvyat. Not the best season, once again, from the Russian. He's still young, is Danny Kvyat. I think he's maybe 24 now. I should have researched that beforehand. 24, I believe he is. He scored podiums in S1, obviously driving for Red Bull, beating Daniel Ricciardo in his season at Red Bull before being demoted back to Toro Rosso. Since then, his confidence has been at an all-time low, and I think if he needs to get back into F1, if he needs to want to start his rise back up to the top, he needs to just completely leave that Red Bull program alone. Don't bully Toro Rosso. Obviously, Helmut Marko has said, you're not welcome here anymore, Danny. So he needs to find other options, and I think he won't get the Williams seat. That'll be tomorrow's topic of conversation. But I do think he has a chance of getting the Sauber seat if he puts his foot in the door, but I think that's unlikely. I really do. The other drivers I've got down, not necessarily ex-drivers, but drivers that are without a seat. Paul di Resta, I don't think he will get it, but obviously he's trying once again to get back into F1. He had that race in Hungary for Williams. He's in the race for this Williams seat. I wasn't his biggest fan when he was in the sport. I thought he was okay. And I think he's happy at Williams, to be perfectly honest. I think he's more than happy being that test driver, reserve driver for Williams. So I think he'll just stay put there, even if he doesn't get that second seat. We've also got the meme lord himself, Jolyon Palmer. In the running, maybe. Obviously his dad, Jonathan Palmer, trying to just get him in a seat anywhere. Really didn't impress at Renault. I remember a couple of years ago, well, when his first race in F1, it's last year, what am I on about? His first race in F1, I was quite impressed with Jolyon Palmer. Outperforming Kevin Magnussen in Melbourne, getting P11 after a solid race. And I thought he could be the real deal, the next big British prospect, obviously winning GP2 at the time as well. However, that did not happen, and he is just the meme of the sport, really. So I don't think he will end up at Sauber. Felipe Massa, obviously, without a drive. His ex-team is, in fact, Sauber, the team he started off all the way back in 2002, I believe. Could he go back there? Unlikely. Really unlikely. It seems like now he's happy to take a big step back and just leave the sport completely. I think that would be the right thing to do for him. I think that's definitely the decision he will make. However, I just wanted to put him in this video just in case anyone wants to put it down in the comments. That's who they thought. I just thought I would just cover all bases. The last driver that is without a seat. Didn't actually get a seat this season. But the season before last, 2016, he raced for Sauber. Felipe Massa. Was he outperformed by Marcus Ericsson? No, he wasn't. There's no Brazilian drivers next year on the grid, so if he did come back, he would bring a lot of money. Maybe not as much as Ericsson, and we know that Ericsson's sponsors partly own the team, so he's really ingrained himself in that team as Marcus Ericsson. So if anyone was to undo it, probably not Massa, but I think this year is more likely than any other year. I know though that Felipe Massa has been drafted, if you will, into another series, the, what is it called? Let's just have a quick look here. The IMSA Sports Car Championship. Never heard of it in my life. If you have, chuck it down in the comments, tell me about it. But looks like that's what he's going to be doing for next season, so that puts him out of contention for the Sauber seat. I now have 4 final drivers up for the seat, and in actual fact, I think these 4 are the most likely to get it. Maybe not one of them, in actual fact, but I think they're the most likely to get it. They're all F2 drivers. Now, the first one is not who you'd first think of. It's Louis Delatraz. Now, not the best first season in F2 from Louis Delatraz. A few moments of, he could be good, but a lot of moments of, not really. The thing going for Louis Delatraz is he's Swiss. He's from Switzerland. And I really love it when someone from a particular country drives for that team. So Hamilton when he was at McLaren. You've got Rosberg when he was at Mercedes. Button when he was at McLaren. Oh, Hamilton and Button when they were at McLaren. Oh, and then Rosberg and Schumacher when they were at Mercedes. I think that's really nice when that happens. It doesn't happen all that often, but I don't know, there's something special about that. Makes it a whole different environment, I feel. But that's probably just me. But Louis Delatraz, I think it's one for the future. However, I believe he is a Renault young driver. So that's more of a wish list, really, from me, Louis Delatraz, rather than a serious contender. The next one, well, the next 3, as you guessed what they're going to be, they're all Ferrari young drivers. Obviously, there's that huge rumour that Alfa Romeo were going to take over Sauber or join up with Sauber. It's not really too sure quite what's going on there. Vassor, the team principal, alluding to there being a partnership. I think there will be. I do think there will be. I think Ferrari, they don't want to go with the likes of Perez, the likes of Grosjean. They're too old. They need someone young. Seb is now the team leader. He's getting old himself, so he can be that figure that can train someone up. So I think Ferrari will definitely consider making Sauber into their junior team with Alfa Romeo. So the 3 drivers are, firstly, Antonio Fuoco, raced for Prima, the Ferrari almost B team in F2, if you will. Raced for Prima this season. He did win a race. I can't remember when it was, but he did win a race. And he did get on the podium in Monza. Might have been Monza he won. Yes, I think it was. The Italian, Antonio Fuoco, won at Monza in the Ferrari B team. I'm 95% sure that happened. I might be making it up. I really should have researched this. But well, you live and you learn. However, I do believe he has been drafted alongside Nick De Vries. Obviously this morning, Prima were making all their announcement. And I believe Nick De Vries and Fuoco will be at Prima next season in F2. So that takes him out of the contention for Sauber. And now it's the big guns. We have the first ever F2 champion, Charles Leclerc, in contention for the Sauber seat. And Antonio Giovinazzi. So let's start with Leclerc. amazing season in F2. By far the standout driver. As much as I wanted Ollie Rowland to do well, the British driver Ollie Rowland, as much as I really wanted him to shine and beat Leclerc, there's no way. He was in a different league to everyone else. The cars are so similar in F2, and if you don't watch it, I would really recommend trying to watch it. It's so much more drama than F1 this season, really has been. There's been no issues with following, there's been great crashes, great overtakes. Anyway, that's a different topic of conversation. Leclerc, anyway, has absolutely stormed it. He's absolutely battered the rest of the field, and he deserves a go in F1. I can't deny. And I'd love to see him at Sauber next season. I really would. As much as I said at the beginning, I love Pascal Wehrlein. He's not going to get the seat. And if anyone's going to take it, I'd love it to be Charles Leclerc. The other one is Antonio Giovinazzi, like I said. Giovinazzi as well, obviously back in 2016, was fighting for the GP2 championship with Pierre Gasly now at Toro Rosso. Giovinazzi just missed out to Gasly, another great talent. Italian as well, and Italian at Ferrari, remember what I said earlier? All those links. Giovinazzi, I was impressed with him in GP2. Then he showed up at Sauber at the beginning of the season. Did outperform Marcus Ericsson. That is something to remember. He did outperform Marcus Ericsson. But he did make a few silly mistakes, a few crashes. That big one, obviously, in qualifying in China. Maybe he hadn't got used to the car. And I think that could definitely be the case. Obviously, he got that really, really late call-up for the team in Australia and got very close to the points. So, a good, solid driver is Giovinazzi, and he's actually the driver I used in the thumbnail for this video. So now I'm going to give you my prediction of who I think the two seats will go to, but also who I'd like it to go to. I think, firstly, Alfa Romeo will join with Sauber. I think they'll be called Sauber Alfa Romeo or Alfa Romeo Sauber. I don't think it will just be Alfa Romeo on their own. I think they'll remain as Sauber. There's such a lot of history in that team, and I think they'll want to keep that there. That'll be part of the deal. I think the two drivers, I think it will be Ericsson and Leclerc. I think it will. I think Leclerc, obviously, is Ferrari's golden boy. He's F2's golden boy. He's going to be F1's golden boy. It'll be him and Verstappen fighting for championships, I can see, definitely in the future. So, that will be the lineup. I think that will be the 2018 Sauber lineup. Marcus Ericsson and Charles Leclerc. But if I was to give you an honest opinion of what I would want, and I'm sure you're going to know, it's Pascal Wehrlein and Leclerc. That would never ever work. Wehrlein is a Mercedes young driver. Leclerc is a Ferrari young driver. I hate the fact that that's a thing. I hate the fact that people are young drivers for this team, young drivers for that team, and they can't go in this team because they're not part of this team. It's all just a bit of a mess, really. But that's how the sport is at the moment, and yeah, we'd like to see Wehrlein. It's not going to happen. So that is my prediction for the Sauber 2018 lineup. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this second video on the channel. Comment your thoughts down below in the comments section. Like, subscribe, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay guys, so just before we go, I've just seen something online. Really glad this has just come up from Planet F1 online. This was published 10 minutes ago, just as I was about to upload this video, and it looks like Sauber have confirmed that Ericsson and Leclerc will take place in a post-session test in Abu Dhabi. So obviously this week Kubica will be testing for Sauber, and Kubica and Stroll will be testing for Williams, as well as Sergei Sorokin. And it looks like Sauber have gone with Ericsson and Leclerc. So looks like that's going to be the lineup. Unfortunately, or fortunately, look, swings and roundabouts. It looks like Ericsson and Leclerc have got it now. So see you later, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.